Hello, awesome and fantastic children at home. I have a little bit of a different video for you this week because I filmed our outside children's church at church to share with you. Now, what I do hope you do is get together with your grown-ups and look up the story, Genesis 1, the creation story, in your Bible. Maybe your Bible looks like this. I don't know. Maybe you have one of these cool Bibles that we have in our house. Santa brought that to our house this year. Oh yeah, the Action Bible. Whatever Bible you have to look it up. Look up Genesis 1, and that'll give you an idea of the story we're reading together. Check this out. And know that I love you, and you are blessed, and you are part of our church family, whether you are with us in person or not. All right. Welcome back to church again. Yay! Okay, do you remember my name?
Ingrid.
Ingrid.
No, we're not supposed to be seen. We're supposed to be like ghosts in the background. Ingrid.
Now I'm going to start by lighting our candle.
Okay.
And I'm going to say some things. I say it a little bit different every time. Some people memorize it exactly the same, but I just can't. So, there once was a man who did such
Great things.
yeah, and said such
Amazing things.
yeah, that people began to follow him, but they didn't know who he was, and so they just asked him, and he said, I am
The light of the candle.
I'm the light of the world. And a long time ago, someone shared that light with me, and today I get to share that light with you. And one day, you'll share that light with someone else. Now, I'm going to move this just to the side for our lesson. Do you remember? I think everybody here has been to Inside Church before. Yeah? It's been a little while. Now, usually,
Oh yes.
I have my treasure
We
chest.
get to go in the stairs and do it.
I know. Today, though, we're going to stay in the circle and do it. And so we're going to have our little lesson here in the circle. And
Without
then,
the parents watching.
you hope the parents watch it? They probably do.
No, I don't want the parents to watch.
They should watch it. Maybe they'll learn something.
No, they've already learned enough in their school.
Whew, tricky, tricky. So I've got my treasure chest here. Let's see what's inside.
And it always has something in it. Sometimes it won't.
Do you think there's something in it?
Yeah. We think it's just an empty treasure chest. I think it's just filled with lots of blankets.
Filled with lots of blankets.
I think it's filled with hamburgers. I think it's filled with air. I think it's filled with air and tacos. I think it's filled with espresso. I think it's filled with a big burger. Hamburger. Not hamburger.
First of all,
A hamburger. Oh, green.
do you remember how when we were in church inside, there were all of those big banners, and I would have on something called a stole. I didn't wear it today because we're just too busy to play to have one of those on.
I hear something. Grass, trees, lights. It's called brown shirt. That's not her name. Yeah, that's not
I wonder if we'll get to see it. What do you think it is? Is it a fire truck? Fire truck!
Maybe it's going to set something on fire. It was actually a fire truck. Isn't that noise?
So we change colors. Oh, that's a great question. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. 2,
Eyes on you.
thank you. So Walter just asked a really good question. He said, when are we going to play? Fantastic question. I have a lesson to share with everybody, and then I'm going to turn it over to Jenna and Emily, who are on staff for Camp Spirit, and Johannes is one of our youth crew for Camp Spirit this year. And so and Ella's going to be a leader in training, and Walter and Thea. And so we have like a whole team of Camp Spirit
Am I going to
people.
be in Camp Spirit?
You're registered for Camp Spirit.
Both of them?
Just one.
Wow.
So we'll have our lesson, and then we'll play some games. and do some crafts. So first, in the church, we change colors all the time based on what the season is. And so does anyone remember what green represents in the church?
Grass, trees, and bushes.
Yes, and what do all of those things do? Thea,
Make Graham's shirt green.
I asked Thea.
It makes like it makes like everything comes alive.
Yeah, it's all about being alive and growing. You're absolutely right. And so, whenever we see the green color in church, it means it's time for us to grow. Okay.
We are already growing because we're kids.
I know. You guys are already growing. And we grow on the outside with our bodies, and we grow on the inside in our brains and in our hearts. Oh, but I need you to be listening so that we can get to the games and crafts, okay? What do you think else might be in this big treasure chest of mine? Whoa.
Treasure. Hamburgers. Tacos.
I wish it was tacos.
A book. A book about him. A book about the message.
It is a book about the message. You have good eyesight and reading from all the way over
A
there.
book about the message. About the message.
What message?
About the message of God.
Yes!
And the message of the candle.
The message of God, the candle. Totally, right? Now, does anyone know what the very first chapter or book in this book is called?
I think How Christmas Came.
Oh, no, that doesn't come until later. It's not how Christmas came.
I think how got born.
How Jesus got born, also the Christmas
The light
story.
of the candle.
Yes, Jesus is the light in the candle. But that is actually not the very first story in here.
What? No, I think Noah's Ark.
I heard it over here. It's called Genesis.
What is that about?
I'm so glad you asked.
Jana.
Genesis, Ella just said Genesis is about the beginning of the world.
Yeah, the beginning of the world was a very long time ago.
Okay.
Are
you ready?
Dinosaurs were the beginning of the world. Yeah. And ice age. No ice
There's nothing more dinosaurs, you know. They're just germs with the
Okay. It says at the very, very beginning of the very, very first part of the beginning of the Bible. First this.
Don't eat it.
What's the first letter?
F.
A.
First this. God created the heavens and the earth, all you see and all you don't see. Earth was a soup of nothingness, a bottomless emptiness, and inky blackness. So, a long time ago, all there was
dark
this
sky.
inky blackness,
Why?
because nothing was made yet. Now let's keep reading. God's spirit blew like the wind. Hey, wait a second. Can you feel it? Yes. God's spirit blew just like that wind over all of this inky blackness. And God spoke and said, light.
Yo.
Okay, everybody all together. 1, 2, 3.
Light.
Oh, that was almost like a great big bang. So then there was dark and there was light. Oh. Let's keep reading.
Dark and light at the same time, right? Is it like when the moon goes over like the sun?
God saw that light was good and separated light from dark, and God named the light day
The sun.
and the dark night. Huh. It was evening, it was morning, day 1. Then God said, sky in the middle of the waters. Separate water from water. So God made sky and God made water. So there was the day and the night, and then there was water.
And the sky. And the ice.
It was evening, it was morning, day 2. So then God said, separate and make land appear.
Land appear. Land.
And God named the land earth, and he named the water ocean. And God saw that it was good. Then he said, Earth, grow up all sorts of beautiful, wonderful seed-bearing things like apples and poppies and hamburgers.
And people.
Grow on trees.
Brightly colored, beautiful flowers and fruits.
Apples, cherries.
And God saw that it was good, and it was evening, and it was morning, day 3.
3 hamburgers. Yeah, and I'm only 3.
So then God said, lights, come out, shine in the night sky. Let the sun use the sun. And God made 2 big bright lights, the larger one in the day and the dimmer one at night. And God saw that it was good. It was evening. It was morning. Day 4. Fantastic. Then God said, Ocean,
You want to sit back up there?
Ocean, we need you to swarm with all sorts of creatures, big and small and microscopic in the ocean. And so God made some goldfish and some other fish and all sorts of creatures and put them in the ocean.
And on shirt day.
Sure did, that came later.
Shirt day, not today.
And then God said, hey, we need some cool looking animals and birds in the sky. And so there were all kinds of different
And
colors.
rainbows. And then there's I already said it. And there's good people. There's going to be no rainbow now. The only color missing is.
So then God said, let's add to this beautiful array of colors and make some humans. Humans.
Humans?
Yeah.
Humans.
They break the world.
And he blessed them. He blessed them and he said, take good care of my beautiful earth.
But they break the world.
That comes in the next chapter. Hang on. So God looked over all the things that God had
And
made
they-
and said, oh,
And they leave their garbage everywhere on the earth.
yeah, again,
Yeah,
that
that
came
comes
later.
later on.
God looked
Way
at
later.
all the beautiful things that God had made and said, oh yeah, this is so very good.
Except the people part.
And then what happened on the 7th day?
Did the people break the world in half?
No, that came later.
When did the dinosaurs come?
A little bit after this.
Wait, humans came for dinosaurs?
Well, the order's a little confused here, but
Up at the end.
you know what
I
God
said
did
came.
after that? After God did all of those big, wonderful, amazing things,
The people broke it.
God
But the
took a day off. God
made some
rested.
hamburgers broke it.
That's Sunday. That's right. So now, I wanted to bring your attention to all these spectacular colors I have here.
Yeah, it's a rainbow and then the dinosaur died.
So let's take a look. Do you think that we need to rearrange these?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll help do that.
So you stay there because we got to follow all the
Oh,
COVID
yeah, 'cause
rules.
I don't want to be on the camera.
So we've got red. What do you think we should have next?
hamburgers.
Orange.
The orange.
Yellow, green, blue, purple.
Okay, red, orange.
Yellow.
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 Okay.
Yellow.
Green.
Blue.
Purple.
Purple.
Black.
There's not really
Okay.
black in the rainbow, but
Now,
because it just makes all the
what
colors.
is this here for you?
Hamburgers. It looks
rainbow.
beautiful with black. It looks
Yeah.
beautiful.
It looks beautiful. I agree. Now, I have a question. At the very beginning of the story I told, hey, Frankie and Graham, do you need to not be together in order to listen? No, you're good. Okay. So, at the beginning, God said, let there be day and let there be night,
Night.
right? Except, I'm wondering, what color do you see when it's really dark out?
Black.
What, go ahead.
Black.
Black?
I see black.
What other colors do you see?
Is it dark because like you're in your house and the lights are off, or is it dark because you're outside? at night?
What about if you're outside
The
at night?
sun's
dark
Kind of.
blue?
Like dark gray.
What
The
were you-
dark colors.
Dark colors.
Gray.
The sun shines on the moon, so it's light.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's.
deflects.
Uh-oh. Oh, right to Jenna. And have you ever been there during that in-between time where it goes from
Yes.
day to night?
That's when the sunset happens.
Well, what color would you choose here?
Like a orange.
Red, yellow, orange, and green. And
So that's a bit like sunset, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like fire too.
It does. Oh.
And there can be black fire.
Have you ever seen a sunset
No.
with these colors in it?
Yes, I've seen the northern lights. Me too. I've
You've seen the northern lights, then there was probably some green in there.
Yeah, but I
too.
haven't exactly seen the northern light, but I've seen pictures of it.
So, hold on a second. If God made day and God made night, did God also make the in-betweens?
Yes, he made the sunset.
Well, it's
No,
pretty much like a rainbow, right? Well, hold on a second now. If God made the land and God made the
The
water,
sea.
what about those marshes that are all muddy and wonderful to swoosh around in?
I think the people made that. And also,
that's man.
on some trees, when there's flowers, they first turn out like buds.
Yeah, sometimes there's like a bud that looks green, right? And then when the flower starts to open, there's like all these other colors inside and it becomes this big, beautiful, colorful flower.
Or a butterfly comes out of it.
Or a butterfly comes out of it. Then there's like an orange butterfly on the flower with the green leaves.
No, the
and then maybe it's near the water.
No, the orange is the bunny.
And then a robin flies by.
bunny?
No, the orange is the bee.
And then a black bunny hops by.
No, the bunny's not black. The dog is black.
Claire, do you realize the camera's on right now, so it can hear you?
Actually,
It's
I
on the whole
actually
entire time.
saw one before on a walk when I was at school. And it was red. The bud was red. And not ghosts anymore. And the orange is the orange.
And there's, think of, what do we eat that's orange?
Skunks.
Oranges. Oranges. What do we eat that's yellow?
Lemons.
Banana.
What do we eat that's purple?
Red.
What do we eat that's blue?
Watermelon. Apple. Tomatoes.
Like a tomato.
Frankie's out of the apple.
Okay. Now, one last thing before we move to activities and games. Sometimes we only think about this or that, right? But I want to talk about God in the in-between. God who creates the sunrise and the sunset. The God who makes the oceans splash up against the sand.
And the rays in the ocean. And the boats.
Tell me about other places where it's in between.
In Hawaii.
Roots. We've got the roots and the dirt.
And Hawaii and Antarctica are completely different.
Hawaii and Antarctica are completely different and they are both amazing.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
different ways. And Hawaii has a volcano.
Hawaii is a volcano.
Antarctica
erupted
is covered in
itself.
snow.
The world is such an
The
amazing
Arctic
place.
has more snow than
Okay.
I don't think it hurt anyone. Everyone is vaccinated. It was like,
Here's a
well, actually, that was
Oh, hold on. Ella just said something really interesting. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Do you want me to say it? So Ella was saying that the Earth is in exactly the right place by the closest star that we call our sun, so that it's warm enough for us to live but not too warm, and it's cool enough for us to have water but not too cold. So it's just this right spot. So that's kind of like in between. The Earth, that
Earth is in between the cold and the hot.
That's right. So, What I'm hoping we can do is I want you to get on your thinking caps. Ready?
I don't need a thinking cap. I'm already thinking.
You're already always thinking. Claire's thinking cap is already on.
No, it's never been on, but it's still thinking.
And I want you to consider, think about, bring into your brain
How long ago?
something about God's beautiful earth that you love.
Nick!
Hamburgers!
Now, thinking about that wonderful, amazing thing, I want you to take a stone from the plate and pass it around.
Grab one.
And put it in your ear.
So take one and keep passing the plate around.
Bob. Yes, I do.
What's that? Yeah, but that's not till 3 usually. Yeah.
Or 3.
Oh, there's not enough if you take more than one, so make sure you only take one. That way there's enough for everybody if you just take one.
I'm taking 2 like him.
Can you just take one,
Oh,
please?
you got 1.
Thank you.
No, this one's for you to give to me, and this one's for me to give to you. Now we got to trade so we love each other. What?
You guys
Just take one and pass it to your sister.
Perfect. All the way around that way.
No,
Thank you.
can't give that.
Okay,
Oh my gosh.
and now I want you to take your stone and hold it tight. Frankie, can you hold it tight?
Oh no.
That's right.
Oh no, Dustin win it.
Look.
He gotta get his.
There was just enough. Take your stone and hold it tight and think about something on the planet, on God's beautiful green earth, green and blue earth that you feel grateful for. Can you think about that?
him.
And you can mine and you say, I'm going to say it out loud and we pass it around, but you don't have to say it when you pass it away. I am grateful for the rivers, especially the Puntledge River.
Yeah, I go to Putney Park. Me too.
Being here at church.
Because there's fire. I am grateful for Sophia. Big and bad.
I'm grateful for Martha.
I'm grateful for the trees.
Sophia.
Him, come with him.
You're great. And you are queen. I'm grateful for
I'm a tree. Oh.
No, I'm grateful for Nick's tongue.
Wait, what? That's
tongue.
That's
Well, that's he wouldn't eat if he had his tongue.
I'm grateful for summer.
I'm grateful for you said and you. I'm thankful for the grass. I'm grateful for water.
Water. Okay. Now, are you ready? Dear God, thank you for these gifts.
Thank you for the gifts.
Send peace on earth.
Thank you for
Amen.
Amen.
Now, before we go, are you ready? I want you to get ready to receive your blessing. So you can go like this. Like this.
Stretching.
Or however you want to receive your blessing, get ready. Because here it comes.
Oh, good.
Okay, but you have to close your mouths to receive your blessing.
Oh.
Know that you are a beloved and precious, beautiful child of God. And there's nothing you can do to make God love you any less. God just loves you at the absolute maximum no matter what, because you are amazing and beautiful and precious.